over the region. Qatar will continue with its mediation efforts together with the United States and Egypt in order to have a ceasefire established in Gaza at the earliest. We are in constant and ongoing negotiations, even during the hard times the region has been living, hoping that the belligerents, the war on Gaza, and the injustice done to our brothers in Gaza be brought to an end. We believe time is opportune for the whole world to stand united to put an end to Israel's irresponsible actions in the region and to have Israel's belligerence on Gaza and the Gazans halted, the relief aid be not used as a weapon against the civilian population. I would like also to extend thanks and appreciation to His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Lebanon, for paying us a visit at this critical moment, and we highly appreciate the conditions Lebanon is living through, hoping and wishing them all the best in the near future. Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, and I would like to thank you for dedicating the time to receive us following the critical situation Qatar lived yesterday. However, we were pleased to be the first to land in Qatar following this hostile act in order to express our support and solidarity with the state of Qatar. And after we had condemned Iran's attack the day before, here we would like to also renew our thanks for the support we have been receiving from Qatar through the 5-member panel. We also express appreciation to the assistance provided by Qatar to Lebanon, namely to the Lebanese army, in addition to a number of development projects. Today's meeting included discussions and an agreement to continue our endeavors in order to reach an understanding on Qatar's support and assistance in the energy sector, namely the energy on Qatar's support and assistance in the energy sector, namely the energy plant, as well as the supply of natural gas to Lebanon. We are pleased to see dust settling here in the region, and we hope it will extend to the entire region, and we are looking forward to their visit to Lebanon. It was an opportunity to give His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar and His Excellency the Prime Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, first-hand information on the achievements we had in Lebanon, namely with respect to the reforms, the restructuring of the state authorities on the basis of the principles of competitiveness and transparency. Also, the project's reform plans on the independence of the judiciary, attraction of foreign investment. We are working towards maintaining and spreading the authority of the state of Lebanon on all its territories on the basis of Al-Taif agreement. At the end of the day, nothing could be achieved without stability, without the total withdrawal of the Israeli occupation forces, namely the so-called 5 points. This morning, today, we continued our discussion with His Excellency, seeking Qatar's support and also the assistance from the international players in order to exercise pressure on Israel in this respect. With respect to the regional issues, from day one, Iran came under attack. We expressed that Israel's attacks constitute violation of Iran's sovereignty as well as the international law. We were pleased that yesterday, as the fruit of Qatar's efforts, dust settled, and we hope a new chapter starts for diplomacy. This is an all-Arab firm stand, as expressed by His Excellency. Not only Lebanon and Qatar, all the Arab states adopt the same firm position. We seek entire Middle East free from nuclear weapons. And this is an opportunity to remind one and all and each of this particular matter. To conclude, I thank His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar, His Excellency the Foreign Minister, Prime Minister of Qatar, and Qatar for their support and assistance to Lebanon. First questions by Al Jazeera English.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister. I wanted to ask you, given the attack last night, how would you see your relationship altered or changed between first Iran as well as the United States? Thank you.
Well, I think that when it comes to the relationship, I believe what happened yesterday was a shock not only for the government here, but for the people of Qatar to have an attack on a Qatari soil, on a Qatari asset that took place last night. And we believe that this is, considered a violation of the good neighborhood policy that Qatar has adopted since the beginning. But we will preserve the same tone with everyone.
The one that's going on air, it's a clean.
We are able to defend ourselves and to deter anyone who would like to undermine our security. But also we would like to have a relationship with everyone in the neighborhood that it's peaceful, based on friendship, common interest, and trying to avoid any disputes or challenges. We are not adopting a policy that it's escalatory and taking it to another level. We always we call for diplomacy for others, but also we resort for ourselves. And basically, that will definitely have its scar on the relationship, what happened today. But I hope that by the time that everyone learns the lesson that this kind of neighborhood relationship should not be violated and should not be undermined. On the other hand, with the United States, I don't see that this has any impact on the relationship with the United States. We've been in a very strong alliance and partnership with the U.S. for decades now, and we have demonstrated that this partnership is meant for not only for the sake of the two countries, but also for the sake of the stability and the security of the region. And we have seen how yesterday the Qatari armed forces demonstrated their capabilities in order to defend the entire facility and to ensure that everyone is protected, including American and other friendly troops. So I don't think that there is an impact on the relationship with the U.S., except that the partnership between Qatar and the U.S. is just growing stronger. And I hope that this partnership also and good neighborhood relationship come back to its norm with Iran as soon as possible. And we hope that we don't see any hostility in the future. What we are seeking for is a peaceful neighborhood. We believe that the Gulf countries are a center of stability in that region. And we believe that what we face together is a common challenge and common threats. And also what we have as an opportunity is a common opportunity for a better future for everyone in the GCC region. And we would like to see Iran taking part of this vision to be partnering not only with Qatar, but with the entire GCC based on the principle of good neighborhood and partnership for prosperity for all people.
السؤال الثاني من صهيب الأسرى الجزيرة الإخبارية.
Second question by Al Jazeera Arabic News Channel. Dr. Nawaf Salam, we have heard message of condemnation of the Iranian attack on Qatar. What are the measures to be taken by Lebanon in order to force Israel into an agreement? And do you think, to what degree will Hezbollah would observe the agreement so long as Israel continues with their violation and refusal to withdraw? As I stated earlier, we are doing our best in order to demonstrate and enforce our authority on all the Lebanese territories on the basis of Al-Taif agreement, which we are bound to comply with. As to the pockets or the 5 points that the Israeli occupation forces continue to occupy, we are endeavoring in order to rally the necessary support from the Arab states as well as global support in order to pressurize Israel to pull out from these points. On repeated occasions, I spoke to His Excellency seeking Qatar's support to Lebanon in this respect. And with respect to your question on Hezbollah, by the grace of God, over the past few weeks, we held our collective efforts hand in hand in Lebanon to steer the country away from an all-out war, especially that the regional conflict was expanding. Today, the military operations have been halted, and we are looking forward to a new chapter of diplomacy, as expressed by His Excellency, the Foreign Minister of Qatar. Al-Arabi Television. A question to the Qatari Foreign Minister. You stated that Qatar reserves the right to respond as well as the diplomatic and legal measures. Can you explain what are these measures and how optimistic are you on the ceasefire established between Iran and Israel, especially that recent violations were monitored this morning? A last question. Following this ceasefire, is there a possible agreement to have a similar ceasefire in Gaza Strip? With respect to the diplomatic and legal steps, they are currently being examined by the State of Qatar. Yesterday, the State of Qatar presented a brief statement to the Security Council on the events. And today, an emergency meeting of the GCC member states. We are not seeking escalation. We are seeking diplomatic solutions, as always been the habit and practice of the State of Qatar. we aim to put an end to any conflict or crisis through negotiating table. We cannot stand at the spearhead of any escalation. Again, geography has it that Iran is a neighboring country and we are observing the principle of good neighborhood. However, there is a clear understanding that any violation or attack on the state of Qatar by any foreign country or outside force is unacceptable, and there is a clear mechanism with respect to how to co-live and deal with one another. At the end of the day, this undermines the regional security. And with respect to the second part of your question on the ceasefire, we were delighted following the communication that took place between His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar and his American and Iranian counterparts that dust have settled. At the end of the day, the matter rests in the hands of the warring parties. Today, we are living in a gray area where none of the warring parties wishes to seem as if the one receiving the final blow. We wish to see a genuine observation of the ceasefire, responsible act by the warring parties, exactly as the state of Qatar had observed with respect to the Iranian attack of yesterday. We hope a total and complete ceasefire be observed between Iran and Israel. At the same time, Israel be pressured in order to observe a similar ceasefire in Gaza Strip. As to Gaza Strip, negotiations are ongoing, and officials of the state of Qatar, Arab Republic of Egypt, are in constant communication with the parties in order to reach a common ground with the sponsorship of the United States. We have made progress over the past few weeks, yet regretfully, the Israeli escalation and their belligerence on Iran has delayed these efforts. However, we continue with our efforts, seeking and exploring any opportunity to have indirect negotiations taking place between both the parties with the aim of reaching an agreement. We hope that the Israelis wouldn't seize the opportunity of having a ceasefire established with Iran in order to give vent to their belligerence on Gaza, and we call on the international community to impose a total ceasefire on Israel, and Hamas accepts a deal whereby the war comes to an end and all the Israeli captives released, as well as the Palestinian detainees. The last question by TRT, Arabic television. Question to Dr. Nawaf Salam. You stated that you sought assistance from Qatar and Turkey to pressure Israel to pull out from the 5 positions in Lebanon. Is this assistance limited to dialogue, especially that it is repeatedly mentioned that Israel continues with their violation, turning a deaf ear and blind eye to all attempts of dialogue? As I said, we are doing our best in order to rally diplomatic and political efforts to exercise pressure on Israel, starting from the Arab states to the UN Security Council permanent member states, especially that an agreement of ending all hostilities was reached with Israel in November last, which was violated by Israel. That's why we are seeking assistance to impose or pressure Israel to observe such agreement. His Excellency paid a visit to Lebanon early this year, and today I renewed the invite in order to pay another visit in the coming weeks. And by then, we hope that calm, stability, and peace have been restored in the region. This is an opportunity to encourage all the nationals to visit Lebanon, and also an opportunity to reinvigorate tourism activities in Lebanon. Again, I thank you, representative of the media, and before I leave, I would like to leave a final message to all those listening to and watching us. The state of Qatar, by the grace of God, has adopted strict precautionary measures which proved to be sound and effective. These measures enabled the state of Qatar to come out free of any damage or injury, and I request all to receive and deliver information only from official sources and not to circulate any unconfirmed reports. This concludes the press conference, and we extend thanks and appreciation to the Foreign Minister of Lebanon and his Qatari counterpart.
कतर और लेबनानी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म मुश्तरका न्यूज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे। उनकी जानिब से कहा गया कि ईरानी खुद मुख्तारी पर भी कोई समझौता अगर ईरान नहीं करना चाहेगा तो हम भी अपनी खुद मुख्तारी पर कोई समझौता नहीं करेंगे। ईरान की खुद मुख्तारी को किसी सूरत नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए। लेबनानी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म की जानिब से ये कहा गया है। उन्होंने कहा कि हम कतर के साथ खड़े हैं। लेबनानी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म की जानिब से ये भी कहा गया कि इसराइल का ईरान पर हमला आलमी कवानीन की खिलाफ वर्जी है। हम कतर के साथ खड़े हैं। ईरानी खुद मुख्तारी को किसी सूरत नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए। गजा में फ़लस्तीनियों के साथ होने वाली नाइंसाफ़ी को भी ख़त्म किया जाए, इस बात का भी उन्होंने मुतालबा किया है। आलमी बरादरी गजा में इसराइली इक़दामात का खात्मा करे और इस खात्मे को यकीनी बनाए। खित्ते में अमन के ख्वाहां हैं।
कतरी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने कहा कि कतर पर ईरानी हमलों से ईरान के साथ ताल्लुकात पर असर पड़ा। उन्होंने कहा कि खित्ते में अमन के ख्वाहां हैं। ईरान और इसराइल के दरमियान जंगबंदी हो गई। अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का ऐलान। इसराइली वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने भी तस्दीक कर दी। अमरीकी सदर की फरीकैन से जंगबंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी न करने की अपील। कहा, ईरान और इसराइल दोनों को ये जंग खत्म करने पर मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ। ये एक ऐसी जंग थी जो बरसों चल सकती थी और पूरे मशरिक़ वुस्ता को तबाह कर सकती थी, लेकिन ऐसा ना हुआ और अब कभी नहीं होगा। दोनों अक़वाम को बहुत मोहब्बत, अमन और खुशहाली मिलेगी। अगर ये दुरुस्त रास्ते से हट गए तो बहुत कुछ खोएंगे। इसराइल और ईरान का मुस्तक़बिल लामहदूद है। इसराइल ने फ़िज़ाई हदूद खोलने का ऐलान कर दिया। ईरान इसराइल जंगबंदी के बाद चंद घंटों बाद इसराइल के जंगबंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी के इल्जामात। इसराइली मिलिट्री का ईरान की जानिब से मिसाइल हमलों का दावा। इसराइली वजीर दिफा ने कहा कि जंगबंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी पर फौज को जवाबी कार्रवाई की हिदायत कर दी। ईरान की इसराइली इल्जाम की तरदीद। कहा जंगबंदी के बाद इसराइल पर मिसाइल हमले की खबरें झूठी हैं। ईरान ने इसराइल की जानिब मिसाइल फायर नहीं किए। ईरान की सुप्रीम नेशनल सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल ने कहा कि ईरान को दुश्मन की बातों पर हरगिज यकीन नहीं करना चाहिए।
इम्प्रूव सेंसोडाइन रैपिड एक्शन 60 सेकंड्स में सेंसिटिविटी से आराम देता है। मैं रेकमेंड करती हूँ सेंसोडाइन रैपिड एक्शन बिकॉज इट वर्क्स।
सेंसोडाइन रैपिड एक्शन अब 50 रुपए की बचत के साथ।
ईरान और इसराइल के दरमियान जंग बंद, सीज फायर का निफाज हो गया। ईरानी और इसराइली मीडिया ने जंग बंदी की तस्दीक कर दी। अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने कहा जंग बंदी का निफाज हो चुका। फरीकैन जंग बंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी ना करे, अमन का वक्त आ गया है।
दुनिया और मशरक़ वुस्ता इसके असल फाते हैं। अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने ईरान इसराइल सीज फायर का ऐलान किया। कहा ईरान और इसराइल के दरमियान मुकम्मल और बाकायदा जंगबंदी पर मुकम्मल इत्तफाक हो चुका है। जंगबंदी का दौरानिया 12 घंटे होगा, जिसके बाद जंग को बाज़ाब्ता तौर पर ख़त्म तस्वुर किया जाएगा। 24 घंटे मुकम्मल होने पर 12 रोज़ा जंग के अख्ताम को दुनिया भर में सराहा जाएगा। हर फरीक की जंगबंदी के दौरान दूसरा फरीक पुरअमन रहेगा।
अमरीकी सदर ने कहा कि अगर सब कुछ मंसूबे के मुताबिक चला जैसा कि होगा तो मैं ईरान और इसराइल दोनों को ये जंग ख़त्म करने पर उनकी हिम्मत, हौसले और अक्लमंदी पर मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ। ये एक ऐसी जंग थी जो बरसों चल सकती थी और पूरे मशरिक़ वुस्ता को तबाह कर सकती थी, लेकिन ऐसा ना हुआ और अब कभी नहीं होगा। खुदा रहम करे, खुदा मशरिक़ वुस्ता पर रहम करे, खुदा अमरीका पर रहम करे और खुदा दुनिया पर रहम करे। ईरानी वज़ीर ख़ारजा अब्बास इराक़ची ने कहा कि तेहरान के मकामी वक्त के मुताबिक सुबह 4 बजे ईरान ने कार्रवाइयाँ रोक दी। इसराइल ने जारियत ना की तो ईरान भी कार्रवाई नहीं करेगा। ईरान ने कई बार वाज़ेह किया कि इसराइल ने ईरान के खिलाफ जंग शुरू की है, हमने नहीं। हमारी बहादुर अफवाज ने हर हमले का आखिरी लम्हे तक भरपूर जवाब दिया।
मैं तमाम ईरानियों के साथ मिलकर अपनी बहादुर मुसल्लह अफवाज का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ जो अपने खून के आखिरी कतरे तक हमारे प्यारे मुल्क के दिफा के लिए तैयार रहें। इसराइली वज़ीर-ए-आज़म नेतन्याहू ने भी जंगबंदी का ऐलान कर दिया। उन्होंने कहा इसराइल ने ईरान के साथ अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की जंगबंदी की तजवीज़ पर इत्तफाक किया है। जंगबंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी का भरपूर जवाब दिया जाएगा। इसराइली वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने दावा किया है कि इसराइल ने ईरान के खिलाफ जंग में ईरान के जौहरी और मिसाइल प्रोग्राम तबाह करने के तमाम जंगी अहदाफ हासिल किए हैं।
उन्होंने कहा कि ईरान के जौहरी प्रोग्राम का खतरा ख़त्म करने में अमरीकी मुआवनत पर सदर ट्रंप का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। साथ ही आपको बताएं कि ईरान इसराइल जंगबंदी के चंद घंटों बाद इसराइल ने ईरान पर जंगबंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी का इल्ज़ाम लगा दिया। इसराइली मिलिट्री ने ईरान की जानिब से मिसाइल हमलों का दावा किया। इसराइली वज़ीर दिफा ने कहा कि जंगबंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी पर फौज को जवाबी कार्रवाई की हिदायत कर दी है।
ईरान ने इसराइली इल्ज़ामात की तरदीद कर दी है और कहा है कि जंगबंदी के बाद इसराइल पर मिसाइल हमले की खबरें झूठी हैं। ईरान ने इसराइल की जानिब मिसाइल फायर नहीं किए। ईरान की सुप्रीम नेशनल सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल ने कहा ईरान को दुश्मन की बातों पर हरगिज यकीन नहीं, ट्रिगर पर हाथ रखे हुए हैं। जंग बंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी का फैसला कुन और मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने के लिए हम तैयार हैं। वापस आएंगे इस ब्रेक के बाद।
True comfort, True T3, Gree, built for the extreme.
अरे अम्मी की बर्थडे है, फोन करना नहीं भूलना।
हाँ ओके ओके। बहुत स्मार्ट हो गया।
होगा कैसे नहीं, पहले 3 साल में बच्चों का ब्रेन 3 गुना बढ़ता है। मैं इसे देती हूँ नेस्ले लैक्टो ग्रो विद एक्टिव ग्रो, जिसमें शामिल है प्रोबायोटिक्स और खास न्यूट्रिएंट्स बच्चों के ग्रोइंग ब्रेन के लिए। नेस्ले लैक्टो ग्रो एक्टिव विद एक्टिव ग्रो।
वाओ, दोनों ने मुंह धोया, मुझे सिर्फ इतना सा ग्लो मिला और तुम्हें इतना सारा। तुमने सोप यूज किया जिससे बस धूल निकली, तो इतना सा ग्लो। इतना सारा ग्लो चाहिए तो ग्लो एंड लवली फेस वॉश, ये चेहरे से
किस्मत में कुछ ऐसा हो। लेकिन मुझे वज़ीर-ए-आज़म मियां मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ इस वक्त कौमी असम्बली में मौजूद हैं। अराकीन ने डेस्क बजाकर वज़ीर-ए-आज़म का इस्तकबाल किया है। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म मोहम्मद